Hey everybody, we are here in our kitchen and we are starting our newest video. So what we're going to do in this video, it's actually going to be a two-part, but I'm only going to tell you the first part now. So we have something in our snack closet. We're going to take up and participate in a little contest that comes around this time every year, and here's what it is. Alright, so we're going to participate in the Lay's Feature Flavors Challenge. So we are going to take these flavor icons from very famous restaurants that have sort of mastered this particular flavor. We have from Grimaldi's Brick Oven Pizza, we have the New York style pizza. From Gino's, we have Philly cheesesteak. And from El Torito, we have Carnitas Street Tacos. And from La Cocina Azul, we have Chili Oreños. Now, we are going to try each of these and then figure out which one each one of us likes the best and see who would win for our family. The game plan end result is we're going to take those chips based on their flavors and mix them into another dish that we can cook and prepare based on how they taste. So we're going to go one chip bag at a time. This one, we used to live very close to this place before we moved to North Carolina. So this one is from Gino's in Philly, or in Philadelphia. Here is, go ahead and hold it up a little closer. The Philly cheesesteak chip.
Very excited about this.
So we've actually, Doug Calvin and I have actually been to this place and had a cheesesteak there.
Yep.
Yes,
So
we've had the real version.
That's right. We know what this is supposed to taste like, and the girls have had cheesesteaks plenty.
Yeah, we've had very similar.
Very similar. So this is either going to be yes,
Nothing beats a Gino's.
Nothing beats a Gino's. We are either going to be very excited or very disappointed. That's
I got a big chip.
Here we go.
This one's like folded in half.
Save your comments till everybody's had some. Don't make comments till we all had some.
What does it smell like? Can't say. That's a comment.
Nice comment. All right, everybody's tried some. What do we think?
They're awesome.
I think that these are mine now.
I taste bacon.
I like them, but I don't remember. I don't know if these taste like a cheesesteak or not.
It kind of taste like
They are good.
It's got kind of a potato chip taste.
No way.
Wow, really?
Wait, you mean to tell me that the potato chip tastes like a potato chip?
Wow.
Never would guess that.
Now good the guy slants, really, people.
There you go.
I would not think cheesesteak eating this at all. I think this is a version of a sour cream and cheddar.
I don't know. I'm getting cheesesteak. Maybe it's just because I haven't had one in a while, but
it has kind of like
tastes like a cheesesteak.
It has a little bit of smokiness to the taste. I think the smokiness to the taste is reminding me of it a little bit, but I wouldn't say this is a cheesesteak. I don't even taste the cheese with it.
That's the part I do taste.
I do think it tastes like sour cream and what do you call it?
Cheddar, the cheese.
Yeah, the sour cream and cheddar chips.
I can kind of taste sour cream and cheddar a little bit, but for the most part, I'm getting cheesesteak.
What do you think? Now you said it tastes like a potato chip. Do you mean like this is closer to just a plain potato chip to you?
Well,
be nice and loud so they can hear you.
Well, I don't think that it just does taste like a kind of like some kind of regular chip. I don't know what.
So you think this one had?
Potato chip.
It's not crazy smokiness or spiciness. It's definitely more plain.
Yeah, closer to a plain. So you think this is just tastes more like a regular plain old chip?
Kind of.
Okay, that makes sense. I can see that. So the first thing we're going to use in the flavors of chips is Gino's Philly cheesesteak flavored chips. So we're not making a cheese steak. We're going to make something else entirely. And we're not going to tell you what it is. You have to wait until the end just to see. We will, however, show you the ingredients and you can take a guess if you like as to what we're going to make. All right, let's take a look at the ingredients. First we have sea salt, butter, and this is unsalted, is it? Nope, it's salted butter because we love salt apparently. All right, we also have granulated garlic. We've got sour cream. We have flour. 1 onion, this is a yellow onion. We have eggs, we're going to use 4 of those. And we also have cream cheese. You could also use a Neufchâtel if you wanted to, but we have cream cheese on hand. So, alright, that's what we've got so far. Now we're going to get started with making whatever this is. Okay, so to keep this video short, we're kind of skipping a few steps and we're not going to show you everything. What we're about to do next is that we're going to add the chips into this dish of melted butter which we did in the oven. We're also sauteing an onion, a quarter of an onion, in a pot on the stove over there. So all we're going to do right now is mix those chips into this dish. Sous chef. Alright, now we want to get the chips coated with the butter before we move on to the next step. Okay, so now is a really great time to go ahead and push pause in this part of the video so you can talk amongst yourselves and try to figure out what it is that we're about to show you. Go ahead, we'll give you a minute. Okay, so there was your pause. You had your chance to figure it out and talk. So he's going to go get, and we're going to reveal what we made using the first bag of chips.
Kind of looks like shepherd's pie.
So it does kind of look like a shepherd's pie. He said that earlier, and I totally agree. It does look like a bit of a shepherd's pie. What this is this is our Philly cheesesteak chips cheesecake. So it's a Philly cheesesteak cheesecake. This is a savory cheesecake, so it's not sweet like the dessert kind. This would be used more as part of a main course. The Philly cheesesteak chips formed the crust. Now you'll notice it's a little brown on top. Sometimes that happens with cheesecakes. For a sweet cheesecake, you would just put whipped cream on the top to cover that up, but we're just going to use the sour cream. So, there you have it. There's the first recipe, and now we're going to move on to the second. So this is from a restaurant called Cocina Azul, which is a restaurant in Albuquerque, New Mexico. This is chile rellenos. There we go. Alright.
I don't know what that is. I'm hoping it tastes like chili, but probably not because it's spelled different.
So these are actually a spicy pepper that you usually stuff with other ingredients.
Flossie
Flossie just did an oh no, bro.
So I don't think she's gonna like this one.
Show your face. How do you feel about it?
Show me your face. How do you feel about this next one?
You have to
Are you
see
excited?
yourself in the...
Are you excited about this? Doesn't she look
She-
excited?
You look so excited. I think it's gonna be your favorite. You look so excited,
All right.
Flossie.
She's just trying
Alright,
to
here
keep
we
that
go.
face without
Here,
smiling.
we'll let Flossie go first. She can get it over with.
Take an itty bitty.
Yeah, just
Take the world's teeniest chip.
And then if you turn out liking it, you
There
can
you
do
go.
just
I
right.
can't
It was like this fall. You can't even see the chip.
Okay, what?
And I also noticed everybody's taking smaller piles than this. Except for Calvin.
Because I always take big.
It's not over the top spicy.
No. Now these flavors, according to the bag, end on September 10th of 2020. So we have to. I guess we'll get new flavors later
They're
on
better
in
than
the
the last
year,
ones.
unless this is the end of the contest. I don't know.
Well, they did this last to the different flavors.
Wait, what contest?
Where did
Actually, I'm
you?
getting an ever so slight taste of, I think it's asparagus.
Asparagus.
Yeah, I
Slight
figured
taste.
that
It's
too.
not overwhelming. It's just
Okay, there's no
ever
asparagus
so.
in these.
Yeah, I
There's
know,
no
but
anything.
it's
It's
kind of a little bit tastes like.
I'm saying it to anybody watching this going, that sounds great. I love asparagus. You're not going to taste asparagus in these.
I don't know. We have friends, and we live in an area where we can get actual chile rellenos. I've never heard of cocina azul, so it's probably not over here where we live, but I think maybe, yeah, we could actually get the real thing.
These they taste like a roasted pepper. Like there's a spice, but
there's a little
like
spice.
It tastes like a spice, like a
What do you think
roasted.
of the chip?
Right.
It just tastes like something that I would normally eat and go, I don't want anymore, but
Do you want
this is
another
actually
one?
pretty good.
No, I do not.
You know, I actually,
So,
have
trying
to,
things, I guess.
I actually have to disagree a little bit just because of what I'm tasting. This just tastes like sour cream and onion chip. I don't taste anything
There's a
different.
little
I've been
bit.
into I'm like this kind of.
There's a bit of a difference
Yeah.
between this and sour cream.
I mean, like, you know, we eat spicy peppers, most of us. I'm not tasting any kind of chile or anything that makes me think of what the name is on the bag.
I do. They were nice with the spice.
Like, for me,
They
my
didn't
taste
kill my
buds,
taste buds.
It's very mild.
Like,
It's a mild. It's not. I wouldn't even call it spicy.
right now, my mouth is just like a little bit confused as to how to label this because I don't know what I'm supposed to be tasting. Because once again, I've never had this.
Right.
Like the food that this is based on.
That he can't pronounce.
Right.
Yeah, that I can't pronounce and don't want to try because I know I'm gonna butcher it.
Well, I wonder.
But
I don't know.
basically, I don't know what I'm supposed to be tasting. It's good. I just don't know what it's supposed to be.
If you and I hadn't had jalapenos for breakfast, I was in for lunch. I wonder if we would even taste.
You mean
Well, if it would taste different. He had jalapenos for his macaroni and cheese, and we had jalapenos and eggs. So I wonder if we would even taste the difference.
I'm getting an ever so slight taste of, I think it's asparagus.
Asparagus. Huh?
Yeah, I'm
Slight
getting it
taste.
too.
It's not overwhelming. It's just
Okay, there's no
ever
asparagus
so.
in these.
Yeah, I
There's
know,
no
but
anything.
it
no
kind
asparagus.
of a little bit tastes like.
I'm saying it to anybody watching this, going, that sounds great. I love asparagus. You're not going to taste asparagus in these.
I don't know. We have friends, and we live in an area where we can get actual chile rellenos. I've never heard of cocina azul, so it's probably not over here where we live, but I think maybe, yeah, we could actually get the real thing.
These
These,
they taste like a roasted pepper. Like there's a spice, but
there's a
there's
little
like a
spice.
second taste like a spice, like a
What do you think
roasted.
of the chip?
Right.
It just tastes like something that I would normally eat and go, I don't want anymore, but
Do you want
this is
another
actually
one?
pretty good.
No, I do not.
You know, I actually,
So,
have
trying
to,
things, I guess.
I actually have to disagree a little bit just because of what I'm tasting. This just tastes like sour cream and onion chip. I don't taste anything
There's a
different.
little
I've been
bit.
into I'm like this kind of.
There's a bit of a
Yeah.
difference between this and sour cream.
I mean, like, you know, we eat spicy peppers, most of us. I'm not tasting any kind of chile or anything that makes me think of what the name is on the bag.
I do. They were nice with the spice.
Like, for me,
They
my
didn't
taste
kill my
buds,
taste buds.
It's very mild.
Like,
it's a
I'm-
mild. It's not. I wouldn't even call it spicy.
right now, my mouth is just like a little bit confused as to how to label this because I don't know what I'm supposed to be tasting. Because once again, I've never had this.
Right.
Like the food that this is based on.
That he can't pronounce.
Right.
Yeah, that I can't pronounce and don't want to try because I know I'm gonna butcher it.
Well, I wonder.
But
I don't know.
basically, I don't know what I'm supposed to be tasting. It's good. I just don't know what it's supposed to be.
If you and I hadn't had jalapenos for breakfast, I was in for lunch. I wonder if we would even taste.
You mean
Well, if it would
roasted
taste
lunch?
different. He had jalapenos for his
Okay.
macaroni and cheese, and we had jalapenos and eggs. So I wonder if we would even taste the difference. Now it's on to the second recipe, and this one we're going to be using the chile rellenos chips. Okay, so remember we're still not going to tell you what the recipe is, but feel free to guess along the way. However, we will show you the ingredients. In addition to the potato chips, we are also going to have more butter. We're going to use sea salt. We are also going to use the flour. This is our vanilla extract that we make right here at home. We're also going to need some granulated sugar, and the recipe calls for roasted pecans, but we don't have any pecans right now, but we do have some peanuts which already come roasted. So we're going to do that. Now, these are salted peanuts, so we're going to use a little bit less on the salt since it's already on the peanuts, so we're not getting too much. And these weren't in the recipe either, but we're going to add them just because they're delicious. Chocolate chips. All right, so let's get started. Okay, so just to catch you up on what's been happening in between the scenes, and behind the scenes over here, is we have creamed the butter and sugar in our stand mixer, and we've also taken the peanuts and we've ground them up, and now we're adding some potato chips to grind them up and add them to the mix. Okay everybody, so we are wrapping up part 2 right now. She's going to go get her treat, but before you go, think back to what the ingredients were from just a couple minutes ago, and if you want to talk amongst yourselves again to try and guess what it is we made, then you are welcome to do so by hitting pause right now. We'll wait for you. Okay, go ahead and get the dessert, the treat that we have coming up. So this one was the actual dessert part, what we're going to eat later. Go ahead and put it right there. Tell everybody at home what they are.
So this is chili raños cookies with chocolate chips.
There you go. So we use
and it also has chips.
There you go. So we use the chile raños chips for this, and of course this is what we threw the chocolate chips into. And one of the neat things about this particular recipe is that there's no eggs in this dish. So you can actually, if you're anything like me and you like to eat the cookie dough, you can eat the cookie dough, and this one is perfectly safe. You can just pop one of these in your mouth and you're all set. First up, which Bethany will give you a close-up on. Tell them what it is, Bethany.
New York style pizza.
From Grimaldi's. So these are from a restaurant called Grimaldi's in Brooklyn, New York, which does coal brick oven pizza. So we're going to try our New York style potato chips first. Ladies first, of course. Feel free to grab a handful. Whatever you want.
Oh, we don't just have to grab one.
Oh no, doesn't have to be just one.
Can I just take the whole bag then?
Begin to sample. Can you eat the whole bag? No, you may not.
Oh.
Gotta save some for everybody else. And the recipe challenge later.
Yeah, I guess so.
Alright, good idea though.
I'm surprised they brought out the tomato flavor.
But this does taste like pizza.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
To me,
it
this
does.
doesn't necessarily taste like a pizza. Like if I went to a pizza place and got a pizza, it wouldn't taste the same. It tastes more like pizza flavoring, like how things like grape lollipops don't actually taste like grape. But by tasting it, you still know that it's a grape flavoring. It's kind of the same with this.
Yep.
It's not tasting like a pizza, but it is pizza flavored, if that makes sense.
It actually reminds me of pizza combos. Like you had the combos pizza flavors. So
That's
like
what I was thinking of.
Yeah. Okay everybody, so now we're going to move on to dish number 3, and in this one we're going to use the New York style pizza chips. Okay, so we're still not telling you what it is. You can guess, but we'll show you at the end. Here come the ingredients. We're going to, in this dish, include 4 farm fresh eggs from our chickens. We are going to use freshly ground pepper because we're fancy. Not really. Okay, now we're going to use granulated garlic. We're going to use olive oil. We are also going to use sea salt, your friend and mine. And we're going to mix a couple things up. We're going to add chili powder for this one. And we're going to use cilantro, probably the last of our cilantro. We'll need to get some more. And we're also going to use more onion in this dish. Now, we had to make some substitutions because we didn't necessarily have some of the things that originally called for. So instead of using Gruyere, we're going to use a cheese that we already had. This is called Old Croc. This is a cheese from New Zealand. It's got an extra sharp cheddar taste to it. All right, and the last one we're going to use, it said we had to use prosciutto, but we don't have any prosciutto, so we're going to use what we have, and we're going to go with pastrami. So that's what we're looking at as far as the ingredients are concerned. Now it's time to get cooking. Okay, so before we get started with the part where we actually use the chips, first of all, just to backtrack a little bit, the cheese that we use, the Old Crock, which is actually one of my favorite cheeses, I accidentally said it's a New Zealand cheese. It's actually an Australian cheese. So my apologies to the entire nation of Australia. New Zealand, you rock too, but Old Crock is an Australian cheese. It's actually available in our local health food grocery store. All right, now sous chef here is going to add the New York style pizza chips to the recipe that we're making. Okay, everybody, time to wrap up number 3. We're going to get it out of the oven in just a little bit, but first, of course, you do get your opportunity to pause and guess. So we'll wait here in pause mode while you talk amongst yourselves to try and guess what this one is going to be. Okay, that's enough of a pause. You had your chance. I'm going to get it out of the oven, and we're going to go see what it is. Alright, now for this particular dish we have to do a bit of fanciness here, and hopefully I don't break the plate, because the plate is a totally different temperature. I think I can just slide it out. Okay, so on second thought, real quick before I do this fancy flip move and possibly lose the frittata altogether and break, I'm just going to loosen it up with a spatula that I have right here. So let me just see, this will help with the flip.
Hope it doesn't fall. There's one of the dogs.
I hope not.
Right,
The dog's here, so we're okay. Alright, and boom.
Yay!
There we go. Okay, I feel better about that. Alright, so this is, now the recipe, it was from this is how multicultural this recipe is. This was from a French chef who made a Spanish dish and called it a tortilla, but several of the comments online about this recipe and what we think also is this was more of a frittata. So while it was from a French chef who made a Spanish dish, I actually think it's more like the Italian frittata. But either way, it's going to be delicious is what it's going to be. So can't wait to eat this. We've already got it set. Cool. Thanks for watching the third part. Stay tuned for the final one right after this brief pause, which won't seem like anything to you. Okay, so on second thought, real quick before I do this fancy flip move and possibly lose the frittata altogether and break, I'm just going to loosen it up with a spatula that I have right here. So let me just see, this will help with the flip.
Hope it doesn't fall. There's one of the dogs.
I hope not.
Right,
The dog's here, so we're okay. Alright, and boom.
Yay!
There we go. Okay, I feel better about that. Alright, so this is, now the recipe, it was from this is how multicultural this recipe is. This was from a French chef who made a Spanish dish and called it a tortilla, but several of the comments online about this recipe and what we think also is this was more of a frittata. So while it was from a French chef who made a Spanish dish, I actually think it's more like the Italian frittata. But either way, it's going to be delicious is what it's going to be. So can't wait to eat this. We've already got it set. Cool. Thanks for watching the third part. Stay tuned for the final one right after this brief pause, which won't seem like anything to you. This is from a restaurant called El Torito, Mexican restaurant. It's in Marina del Rey, California. This is Carnitas Street Taco.
I'm excited about this one.
Woo!
Yeah.
I predict this one is going to be Calvin's favorite, but we'll see. I don't want to put that on anybody. All right, this time we're going to go ladies first.
Oh, there's a
this
smell.
side.
As
Oh,
soon
yeah.
as it opened, there's a smell like a steak.
Yeah, actually, that's funny. It smells like carnitas right out of the gate. Oh, yeah.
Kind of reminds me of the pork rinds.
I don't know what a carnitas is, but I do know what a taco is.
It's like one
This
of
doesn't taste like a taco to me.
No.
No, it's not supposed to.
It's not supposed to be a taco.
Wait, if it's not supposed to be a taco, then why do you say street taco?
Street taco is different. See, here in America, when we have tacos, we think like the Taco Bell sort of hard shell. A real taco is like a very small tortilla with all sorts of things inside of it. It's usually more of a pulled pork instead of beef that we use, and sometimes the spices can be different.
Like, it's still good, it's just not what I was expecting.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I want more.
I like the pizza one better.
Yeah,
Really?
I
Not
just
that we're comparing one to the next.
I don't really like those.
It has a lot of like spices and you said blandness?
I
Yeah.
actually thought
Really?
that
The
it
opposite.
just
I don't really
tastes
like
bad.
that.
You think this one's bland?
It's not
Yeah, I'm
bad.
not sure what it
it's
tastes
just-
like.
It doesn't. I've had the
Like a
citrus
slightly more
carnitas, and this
flavorful
isn't
other
just like
thing.
it. Kind of reminds me of, like the pork rinds, but like
More
different,
seasoning?
Like, yeah, more seasoning.
Also, like you said, that there's usually pulled pork in a street taco carnitas thing. I'm not getting any pulled pork from this. Like, it's good, and I'm getting a faint scent of meat. I just don't know
They did the
what.
spices of the meat.
Mm-hmm.
Like, basically, I don't know what I'm
And
tasting.
then there's a cilantro and lime-ish taste.
Now it's time for the fourth dish, our last bag of chips. And the one that we're going to use for this time is the carnitas street tacos. Alright, super cool. So here are some of the other ingredients we're going to use, but just like the other three, we are totally not telling you what we are going to make. So, the first ingredient we have is the Rotel diced tomatoes with green chiles. So we have that. What's the other one that we have there? Can you hand me the other one? So this is some chicken broth that we make, and we actually freeze into these little silicone liners we have. So we have chicken broth, and we also have cheese, and we did a cheese blend this time. So we went back to the old crock Australian, see, said it right that time, Australian cheddar cheese, and we mixed it with mozzarella for this one, okay? And speaking of cheese, we're also going to use cream cheese again, and another ingredient that we have is, this is our homemade taco seasoning. So we're kind of running a little low, we need to make some more of this, but there's plenty for the dish. We're going to use our homemade taco mix blend, because we like a different one. And the last one we're going to use, the last ingredient we need for this is chicken! Alright, so we're going to get started making this, and it's going to be delicious! Let's get started. Okay, so what we've done so far is we softened the cream cheese in a pot on the stove with the chicken broth that we had. All the other ingredients were put into the food processor so that we could blend them together, and now we've brought them together. So, by the way, the live chicken is an egg-laying chicken. It's back out in the yard. We had actual chicken in the fridge. So we're good. That chicken's fine. We were just doing that to be silly. Anyway, here is the part with the chips. So, sous chef here is going to go ahead and do her thing. Yep, right in. So for this dish, the carnitas street tacos chips got crushed up, and they need to be in the bottom layer. You can actually just kind of pour it straight upside down, right in the bowl, because you have a wide surface area. And I'll take that, and since you washed your hands, you can actually smooth all of that out into a flat layer. Just like that. Just kind of spread it around, make sure the whole thing's covered. Okay everybody, so we have now finished the fourth dish. So here we go with the big reveal. This is the part to where if you want to pause the video and talk amongst yourselves to try and figure out what it is we have made, and now would be a really great time. Go ahead, we'll wait. Okay, there we go. You had your chance, you talked, we're good. Now, I'm gonna go get it, and then we'll see what it is my sous chef here and I have prepared for dinner using the street carnitas potato chips. BRB. All right, and here we go. This is what we have made. This is We're just calling it chips chicken. You can use any kind of chips you want. We used the carnitas street tacos chips, but really any kind could go in here. Just think of the other ingredients, add the flavors, and of course, as always, you can adjust any way that you want. Did you want to say anything about the dish? To the people at home? No, you're good? Yeah? Alright, cool. So thanks for watching our video. We're going to show you all 4 of them at once in just a second. Okay, so we tried all 4 different flavors. We each have a favorite, I'm sure. So now we're going to find out what the favorites are. We're going to start all the way over here with Flossie, who's going to lean in and speak up. Tell us which one of the 4 was your favorite.
My favorite was the pizza kind.
All right, she liked the pizza.
Nice.
Your turn. Oh, yum.
My favorite was also the pizza.
All right, Calvin.
My favorite was the Philly cheesesteak because it tasted the closest like what it was named after to me.
There you go. I actually liked the El Torito street carnitas the best, simply because I felt like that was the only one that actually had an original flavor.
My favorite was the pizza.
My favorite was also pizza.
There you go. So we have 3 pizzas.
People like pizza. Who knew?
Pizza.
Pizza.
4 pizzas, a cheesesteak, and the carnitas. So, the Grimaldi's Brick Oven Pizza won 4 out of 6 members of the alphabet family. That's the chili rellenos. Nobody picked.
Yeah, this is the one no one picked.
This is the one nobody picked.
So can we get an F in the chat?
There we go. There you go. Chili rellenos. None of us picked that one. I feel like it wasn't as authentic a flavor. That's probably why I didn't pick that one. But the street carnitas, an original flavor, absolutely. I like that.
So this one's the winner.
Here's
People
the winner.
like pizza, as it turns out.
There's the winner.
So
There you
now
go.
we're going to take a road trip and go to Brooklyn, New York.
Really?
Yep.
No.
So you know, this
you
I'm
all have any-
sorry. We're not allowed in there. No, I
No,
think
yeah,
we are.
we're actually still our state.
I don't know.
All the states are still under quarantine. But
Yeah.
this place actually, Grimaldi's cold brick oven pizza. Very interestingly, it's in Brooklyn, New York, and where it's located is actually directly underneath the Brooklyn Bridge. It's got its own little thing. It's actually underneath the Brooklyn Bridge. So